Yes, guys, welcome to a brand new live stream. My name is Conan, and today I'm going to explain to you guys exactly how you can still eat out every single weekend while losing your body fat. Now, the concept that I'm explaining to you guys in today's live stream is the exact same method that not only myself used, but then also all of our other clients to help them lose 30 to 50 pounds, all without sacrificing their favorite foods. Now, if you guys follow me on social media, specifically on my Instagram or my Snapchat, where I tend to show more of like the behind the scenes of my lifestyle, what I do, all these other things, you guys will probably notice that I am a big foodie. I love eating food and I love eating out, specifically sushi. Sushi is arguably one of, if not the best foods ever made on the planet. I just love it. The raw fish. I used to actually hate fish, funnily enough, but it kind of grew on me over time, just like coffee did. It's has such a distinct taste to me. And as a kid growing up, I just wanted all the processed, sugary junk food. But as I've gotten older now, my taste buds have kind of just adjusted to more just like, I guess, adult, mature food. But yeah, I love eating out. I love eating sushi. I love eating pizza as well. Pizza has always been a childhood favorite of mine. And if you were to tell me, Conan, that in order for you to get in shape, but not just get in shape, but actually stay in shape and maintain six-pack abs year round. You can never eat out again. You can never have sushi again. You can never have pizza again, whatever else people want to eat, burgers, fries, etc. I don't think I'd be willing to make that trade because I love food too much. And as you guys can probably tell, food is a huge part of our culture. And I really do not think that most people are willing to make the trade or to sacrifice never going out again, never going out to date nights, never taking their kids for dinner, never taking themselves for dinner, whoever you want to take out for dinner, never going out to eat ever again in order to just get in shape. Like, I don't think many people will do that, to be honest, because, like I said, food is a huge part of our culture. And luckily enough, for us, specifically me and our clients, you don't have to, right? You can still eat out at your favorite restaurants, specifically on the weekends, whatever you want to do, while still getting in shape and actually staying in shape. So, like I said, most guys think you need to give up restaurants and social meals in order to lose fat, but that is completely wrong. Every single client inside of the Barbarian squad eats out every single week, and they still drop 30 to 50 pounds, usually within like 6 to 12 months, without cutting out their favorite foods, right? So today I'll show you exactly how we do it step by step using a very simple method called calorie banking. So you can still enjoy dinner guilt-free and still make progress. So, issue number one, this is the biggest problem with quote unquote dieting. Most people think fat loss equals perfection, right? There, you have to follow a meal plan perfectly from Monday through Thursday. But then here's the thing: when Friday hits, you go out to a restaurant, you have a couple cocktails, you have some fries, some desserts, and boom, you are 3,000 calories down the drain all in one single night, right? And that night can literally erase your entire weekly deficit if you're not strategic. So I put a quick little example here. You eat, let's say on average, you eat around Isaac, how's it going, my guy? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, my man. If you specifically have any specific questions for me, please drop them down below, and I'll do my very best to answer them for you. But hopefully, you're having a great Sunday night so far. So let's go back to the example. Let's say you eat around 2,000 calories to be in a calorie deficit Monday through Friday, right? And if you total that together, 2,000 calories times five, that is 10,000 calories Monday through Friday. Now, let's say on a Saturday, you eat 3,500 calories at dinner and you have some drinks. And then Sunday, you have some hangover food and you eat around 2,800 calories. You literally just ate back your entire week's deficit in just 2 days. Not in a week, but just in 2 days. And it kind of goes to show you how easy it is for us to eat a lot of food in a very short time span and how easy, therefore, it is to actually just gain a whole lot of body fat and just get fat, right? You just ate back your entire week's deficit in just 2 days. You don't need to stop eating out. You just need to eat, or you just need to better budget for it. And I'll explain to you exactly how you can budget your calories in a good way without feeling too restrictive throughout the week so you can still eat out and still make progress, right? So, point number two, you're probably wondering to yourself, okay, but what actually is calorie banking? So let me explain this concept using a bit of math. Now, don't worry, you don't need to know much about algebra or much about calculus or anything. I used to be a horrible math student. I do not like math. I don't do math unless it implies finances or calories. Those are the only two math equations that I really pay attention to. Anything beyond that, I get bored and I do not want to hear any of it. So this should be very, very easy. It should be as easy like a 5-year-old should be able to follow this. So think of your weekly calories like your bank account. You can save calories earlier in the week to spend more when you eat out. And I think if you just start to view your daily calories and more importantly, your weekly calories, just like you would your daily money budget, your weekly budget, your monthly budget, I think you'll make far better food choices just in general. Because let's say you get your paycheck maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month. Are you going to splurge all of your money in one day, right? Let's say you get paid on the first of the month. Are you gonna spend all of your money going out to a restaurant, celebrating, partying, doing all these things just because you just got paid? Of course not. That's stupid. That's moronic because then you're gonna have nothing left over, right? But so many people do that with their calories, right? Where they go out on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday night, whatever, and they just don't even know what their budget is first and foremost, but then let's say they do know their budget, they just blur it all on this one sitting, on this one night out, eating this massive, huge cheat meal. And then they wonder to themselves the following day why they're 5, 10 pounds heavier than whatever the last week, the last couple months. Well, it's like because you just splurred your entire weekly budget in one sitting. And you do that every single weekend. No wonder you're 10, 20, 30 pounds overweight because you have not budgeted your calories wisely. Just like hopefully you budget your finances wisely. I really hope that most of my viewers don't just spend all your money on random stuff and then expecting to be rich. Like, no, if you want to be good with money, you should probably budget your finances, right? And not spur your money. Just like with your calories, if you want to get into great shape, you want six pack abs, if you want to lose body fat, you should probably not spend all of your calories in one sitting every single weekend, eating out, going out to restaurants, right? But unless you do it strategically, which once again, I will explain into this live call. So let me use another example. Let's say your fat loss target is 2,000 calories every single day. Let's say we coach you and we have you at 2,000 calories every single day. Okay, awesome. That is 14,000 calories per week, right? So 2,000 times 7 days of the week is 14,000 calories. If you know you're gonna be eating out on a Saturday night, you can bank your calories Monday through Friday just like this. Monday through Friday, eat around 1,800 calories. So that'll save you 200 calories every single day, and your total calories that you've just saved will be 1,000 calories, right? And then when Sunday comes around, you can eat 3,000 calories for dinner because you saved those 1,000 calories because you knew you'd be going out on the weekend on the Saturday, right? And so Sunday, you go back to your regular 2,000 calories again. And now your weekly total, using this example, you're still at 14,000 calories. You still hit your weekly fat loss goal, but here's the most important part. You actually enjoy your meal without guilt or fat gain on the weekend, on the Saturday. How amazing and how simple does that sound? Right? This leads me to point number three, how we teach clients to do this inside of the Barbarian squats, so inside of our coaching program. We don't just give you a meal plan, we give you a specific strategy. Now, here's what we teach. Step one is plan ahead. You have to plan ahead. If you don't know, roughly speaking, when you're going to be going out and you're just like randomly going out on like a random Thursday night, it's like whatever, you're not going to have enough time to actually properly bank your calories or at the very least prepare for like the meal out that you're going to be having, you're likely going to go over your calories, right? So I like to plan for myself at least typically like a week in advance. So for example, today is Sunday. Maybe the following Sunday, I'll plan something with my friends to go out to a restaurant, all you can eat sushi, for example, whatever it may be. I don't like to do things sporadically because now I have 7 days leading up from where I am now to the sushi date where I can prepare, right? So I can start to look online. I can look at the menu, see exactly what foods they have. I can see how many calories each menu item has, and I can start to do some math. It's like, okay, I know I want to have this for dinner, and then I want to have that, and I want to have that. So I'll roughly need around, let's say, 1,200 calories in that one specific meal. Okay, awesome. So if I do the math, I should probably subtract 300 calories from my typical daily diet, leading up to that day for the next 4 days, for example, so that when that day arrives, I have 12,000 calories that I can just splurge, enjoy, guilt-free, and just be fully present with my friends and not feel guilty or not feel the need to pull out my Fitness Pal, the calorie tracking app, or feel the need to bring out a food scale, anything like that. I can just sit down. I know exactly what to order. I know exactly how many calories it has, and I know exactly that it'll fit within my weekly budget because I simply prepared in advance, right? It takes very little effort. All you got to do is just know at least a couple days in advance when you're going to be going out to eat and preferably where you're going to be going out to eat. And then also you can see exactly what you're going to be having when you go out to eat, right? So that's step one. Look at your weekend and then when's the meal out. Plan to eat lighter leading up to it. For example, like a high protein, lower carb, lower fat meal during the week. And I think this is pretty easy for most people to do because let's say you like going out on the weekend, let's say on a Saturday, Monday through Friday, typically speaking for most people, unless you're like this huge party animal, you're not gonna be social like pressured to like go out on like a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. Like you're just gonna be going to work and you're gonna be going home, take care of the family, take care of the kids, then go to bed, right? It's like it's a pretty average standard, nothing too exciting. So for most people, you really should have a pretty easy time just sticking to your calories, even like go a bit lower on your calories Monday through Friday when you're already gonna be busy with work, you're already gonna be on a set schedule, and you're already gonna be pretty much dialed in, so you can pretty easily just kinda, like, prepare in advance. Whereas, yeah, on the weekends, when you maybe wanna sleep in a bit more, you go out a bit more, you're not, like, on your regular routine, that's when it can be slightly more difficult. So, we work with a lot of people who obviously have full-time jobs. They work 9 to 5 desk job, and they're just like they have a really consistent routine Monday through Friday. So they have a really easy time, honestly, just staying on track during the weekdays. And I don't think most people actually cheat on their diets or mess up on their diets during the weekdays because most of these days are so predictable, they're so easy, and you don't really have all these crazy distractions unlike you do on the weekends, for example, right? So step one, plan ahead. Step two is focus on protein and volume. So keep protein high around 30 to 50 grams per meal, and then make sure to fill up on veggies and lean meats as well if you can. So, for example, some chicken breast, egg whites, shrimp, and salads. The reason why I prefer these two options, the protein and the veggies, is because protein, number one, helps you build muscle, which is great. We all want more muscle. Number two, it also helps preserve muscle. So, especially when you're in a calorie deficit, protein becomes increasingly more difficult to help you preserve the muscle mass because, naturally speaking, if you're eating less calories than you burn, your body is literally fighting, like it's gonna be having a much harder time putting onto your muscle mass when you're simply not giving it the raw materials, the raw energy needed in order to sustain. Right, it's muscle, right? But protein can kinda counteract that, while, of course, resistance training as well, progressively overloading and really challenging your muscles in order to get stronger. So protein, number 1, great for muscle and preserving muscle, but number 2, which is very underrated, a lot of people don't really talk about this, but protein is actually the most satiating macronutrient. And what that means is that protein takes a bit longer for your body to fully break down and digest within your body compared to the other 2 macronutrients, which are carbs and fats. So carbohydrates typically again tend to get broken down quite easily by your body because it's like its main preferred source of energy, whether it's for your brain, your cognitive function, or just physically, your body always goes to carbohydrates, glycogen when it comes to energy. So that typically tends to be the first thing that gets broken down. Secondly, thereafter will be the fats, right? Slightly slower, but second. And then the third will be protein. Ideally, your body doesn't really want to use protein as energy. I mean, it just wants to use protein for muscle. So yeah, protein, like I said, helps you build muscle, but then also it is very satiating and does take a bit more energy for your body to like actually break down and digest. The second one is volume, aka the salads, the veggies. These are a great example of a low calorie dense food. And basically, what that means is that it is a food that is very high in volume, but very low in calories. So it'll give you a ton of volume without giving you a ton of calories, essentially, which means you can eat a lot of it for not that many calories, which is great, especially if you're a big eater like myself, for example. Like I could like get down the salads quite easily but then I'll still have a ton of calories left, which is great. Whereas if I were to get the same amount of volume from like a bowl of rice or pasta, I'd be eating maybe thousands of extra calories extra because it's so dense. That's like an example of a high calorie dense food, which is very high in calories, but it's also very dense, right? So you don't get as much volume from it. So that is why protein and veggies combined together is almost like the recipe for the ultimate satiation. Like if you're on a fat loss phase right now and you're constantly hungry and you're looking for a fat loss appetite suppressant cheat code, eat as much protein and veggies as you can. Like load up on them every single meal, and I guarantee you, you're gonna be very, very full without really eating a whole lot of calories. So that is step number two, focus on protein and volume. That leads me on to step number three, which is use smart swaps whenever you eat out. So let's say you go out to a restaurant, you are a couple small little swaps that you can do, which honestly won't really make a huge difference to the meal itself, but can make a huge difference in terms of the calories that you'll be consuming. So number one, and this is personally what I'd like to do all the time, and what I recommend then to my clients as well, is grilled foods over fried foods. Now, I know what you're thinking, fried foods taste so much better than the grilled foods. I talked about this in one of my previous live calls, but essentially, sure, the first couple times you do it, may suck a bit, may need some time to kinda get used to it, but, like, over time, like, I really don't really see a big difference between, like, fried shrimp and, like, the real shrimp, or, like, fried chicken versus, like, grilled chicken. Like, especially at a restaurants, like, most chefs, right, their entire job is to make the food as tasty as possible, and if you can just, like, have the chef cook it or grill it. It's still gonna taste relatively good, and you're just gonna be saving hundreds of calories more than likely, right? And honestly, now I'm at a stage where my taste buds have adjusted so much, like I said, as at the start of this live call, where if you start to eat just healthier foods over time, your taste buds will adjust to that, and your body will actually start to crave more of the foods that you tend to eat more often. So if you're eating more grilled foods, for example, compared to fried foods, guess what you're gonna be craving more of? You're gonna be craving more grilled foods than fried foods, right? So whenever I go out to a restaurant, I always look for the grilled option over the fried option. And even if that's not an option, I'll ask for the option. I'm like, hey, can the chef actually turn us from a fried option to a grilled option? And more than likely, they say yes, they're willing to do it, right? It's actually probably going to be a bit cheaper for them if they grill it over frying it, or at the very least easier. So yeah, that's the first step. Grilled over fried. Always, 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 always. Number two, get the sauce on the side. Do not have them smother it all over. It's like just have them put it on the side at the very least. Or better yet, ask for like a lower calorie sauce. So instead of doing like the full fat mayo, ask for like half fat mayo, or maybe like a zero fats Greek yogurt dip that you can get instead. Like, whenever I go out to a restaurant, I typically don't really get any sauces. I just use maybe, some seasoning, salt, and pepper. But yeah, the sauces can definitely make a huge difference, like, especially when it comes to, like, salad dressings. Like, people think getting a salad is super, super healthy, but, like, especially as Caesar salads, like, those are absolutely, like, just smothered in the ranch dressing, which is just an absolute fat bomb. Like, Caesar salad itself is quite good, like it's healthy, like it's good, but then they ruin it by adding the croutons, the cheeses, and then more importantly, the freaking sauce. The sauce has like hundreds of calories, whereas you just get the Caesar salad without the sauce, without some of the cheese, without some of the croutons, all you're literally left with is just some lettuce and chicken. Like, it doesn't get cleaner than that, right? Well, of course, you do want some taste, so of course, just be wary of that. All that I'm saying. But yeah, at the very least, get it on the side so at least you can kind of portion it out and not like because I've noticed a lot with restaurants, they like really like to add like a lot of stuff into it. But if you don't like having a lot of stuff into it, or you just don't want to have that, just ask them to put it on the side and you're gonna be good to go, and at least at the very least, you get to portion out how much you wanna pour on and not them, essentially, right? Number 3, get water or zero-calorie drinks instead of alcohol or soda. This should be an absolute no-brainer. If you're on a fat loss phase right now, I find it moronic, idiotic, whatever you wanna call it, if you drink your calories. That is the worst thing you could possibly do on your fat loss journey. If you drink your calories and you complain about not being able to lose weight or complain about constantly being hungry, that is the first thing that I'd have you fix is to completely eliminate all calories that come in liquid form because they do not fill you up whatsoever. They're literally the closest definition to empty calories. I heard someone say something about empty calories before. I never really fully understood what they meant by it, but I would say liquid calories, whether it's a soda or a juice or a pop or specifically, especially alcohol, I would consider that to be empty calories because it's giving you zero nutritional value, but it's giving you a lot of calories that you don't even notice. All right. Like you drink some juice, you drink like a Coke or like some soda or like some alcohol, it just goes straight through you, right? Because it's almost like been pre-chewed by someone else, by the press or by whatever. But it's like it does have to go through the whole digestion process because it's almost like been, or at least your body thinks, your digestive system thinks that it's already been pre-digested because you don't have to chew it, you don't have to, like, swallow it, you just have to drink it. That is it, right? So, not only does it pack on a lot of calories, you don't even feel it going into you, right? So, easiest swap anyone can start doing right away. Like, you could literally ignore all the advice I give you, but make this one small little swap, and you could be losing a ton of weight every single week, and that is this: swap your sugary drinks for zero-calorie alternatives. If you are currently drinking a couple cans of Coke every single day, substitute that for a zero-calorie Coke, you're gonna be saving 2, 4, 600 calories every single day. If you add that up throughout the entire week, that is thousands of extra calories saved up. That is pounds of fat that you could be losing right there. Without making any single change to the actual food you eat, you could still be eating whatever your junk food diet is, but simply making that swap of substituting like both, like, just, like, whatever you drink, like alcohol, sodas, juices to, like, just zero-calorie alternatives. Better yet, just water, sparkling water, black coffee instead of, like, the frappuccinos, tea instead of, like, bubble tea, um, zero-calorie Gatorade instead of the full Gatorade, right? Like, just, like, all these small little soft switch like, again, like, if you're gonna be drinking something, you're not gonna be noticing it anyway, right? It's like, you might as well substitute it for a zero-calorie drink, and I guarantee you're gonna be seeing a huge change just by simply doing that. And then the last point here is skip the appetizers or desserts. Whenever I go out to a restaurant, I just skip them altogether. I don't really feel the need to get an appetizer. I never feel the need to get a dessert. Like the main course is the main course. That is what I'm there for. I'm not there for the appetizers. I'm not going out to a restaurant to get their desserts. I'm there to get the main course. Like that's what I'm there for, right? Like no need to like waste time or waste calories on a stupid appetizer, which is probably going to give you probably up to 1,000 extra calories for absolutely no reason. I think appetizers are moronic, they're stupid, they're not needed. Just go straight to the main meal. Sit down, grab a drink, grab a water ideally, sip on it while you wait for your main course. That is it. And once you're done with your main course, you should feel good, you should feel satisfied. You don't need to get a dessert. Like desserts at restaurants, in my opinion, are overrated. There's nothing special about them, there's nothing magical about them. Same thing with the appetizers, like they're just kind of there. Like, I don't even know, like, how to describe them. They're just kinda there. It's like, like, when people give you bread at a restaurant, it's almost like there to, like, I don't know, keep you occupied, keep you company, whatever. Like, no. Stay focused, get the main course, and then get out. Like, that is it. And, of course, take your time while you have it, socialize, but, yeah, skip the desserts, skip the appetizers. Just yeah. Enough said. Now that leads me to the 4th step, which is get steps in. So, typically if you can at the very least 10,000 steps, up to 15,000 steps on restaurant days can give you a huge buffer. We teach our clients to earn more flexibility through more activity. Not only that, like, yes, like increasing your step count on the higher calorie days will help you burn slightly more calories, but I more so do it for the digestion purposes. So, especially after you eat like a big meal, you have 1 or 2 people. And you can typically see this whenever you go to your Thanksgiving family reunion. You either see someone eat a massive turkey meal with mashed potatoes, turkey, cranberry sauce, all these things, and as soon as you're done with that, you either see them go outside, play with the kids, play basketball, play sports, be active, go on a run, jog around, play with the dog, whatever, or you'll see another person and they'll just laying down on the couch. You gotta be the person who is active after a meal, so this will not only help you burn slightly more calories after the meal, but more importantly, it helps tremendously in your digestion. 100%. Like, this is one of the biggest game changers that I've done, like, after kinda, like, choosing trial and error that I noticed that whenever I have a big meal and I sit down after a really big meal, it just kinda sits in my stomach for a lot longer than it should. Whereas if I have a nice big meal with my friends, we actually make it a habit now where we literally walk around in loops around the restaurant after our meal. It's almost like a post-meal digestion walk, is what we like to call it, to just essentially what the name implies, aid in digestion, help in digestion, right? Because you'll notice by simply going on a quick walk after a meal, doesn't even have to be after a restaurant meal, could be after eating breakfast, after eating dinner, after eating lunch, after eating a snack, right? Just going on a quick, brief little walk, 5, 10 minutes is all you really need. You'll notice a huge improvement in your digestion because now instead of you sitting down, just kind of letting the food kind of rot in your stomach, it'll still eventually get digested, don't get me wrong, but you can actually speed up the digestion by obviously going on a walk. This will promote a bit more blood flow, and you'll just get things moving a lot quicker as opposed to not moving and just kind of delaying the process. So that is another thing. And then the bonus thing here as well is if you can, try to go out to eat as early as you can. So try not to have like this huge meal at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., because that's going to be far too late. It's like you're going to be done eating at around like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight. And if you have a bunch of food in your system at that time, like it's going to mess up your circadian rhythm, which is like your body's biological clock. And I would rather have you eat your meal a lot sooner than that. So you actually have time to digest the meal. So you can actually go to sleep without feeling like just fully stuffed and bloated. Because if you have a really big meal right before bed, that can also impact your sleep. And if your sleep gets impacted, your hunger hormones get all out of whack, and it's just like your sleep is going to suffer. You're going to wake up the next morning feeling super bloated and super gross and super heavy. You're going to hop on the scale and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I just gained 5 pounds. And you feel a bit down on yourselves and you kind of like start the day off at like super sluggish. And it all kind of trickles down from there, right? Whereas if you have your meal a bit earlier, like we go as early as like 4 or 5 p.m. typically, right? Because this allows us enough time to, number one, sit down, enjoy ourselves, not rush it, take our time with it, have some water, have the main meal, then have some more water afterwards as well, and then go on a nice long walk. Typically, we walk for like an hour afterwards. And then this way, we have enjoyed our meal, we have hit our macros, we've hit our calories, right? By calorie banking, like I've explained throughout this entire video. And now you've actually had 2, 3, 4, 5 hours post dinner where you had allowed yourself to let the food digest a lot more, and now you can actually go to bed and without like a big full stomach, and that can actually improve your sleep. And then the following day you don't feel gross, and yeah, the next day you can just carry on with your regular day, right? You just have your regular breakfast, your regular meals, and you don't feel overly just like restrictive. You don't feel overly bad about yourself. And yeah, that's kind of like how I typically like to do it and what we also teach our clients. And yeah, they feel amazing afterwards as well. So um let me show you a quick little client example before we wrap up this video. So my client Reagan, he was eating out with his wife every single Saturday, typically to like a steakhouse. So before he was eating around 3,000 to 3,500 calories per meal, whereas now, right, like we discussed in this entire call, he banks 2 to 300 calories daily during the week, right? So Monday through Friday leading up to the weekend. So typically, what he orders is like an 8-ounce sirloin, 500 calories, with some veggies on the side, which is around 150 calories, a glass of wine, right, 120 calories. And so now, what this allows him to do is he can still enjoy date nights every single week, while, and here's the best parts, while still dropping 1 to 2 pounds every single week by simply making this small little adjustment to his kind of like weekly diets by banking his calories, right? Once again, he reduces calories by just 1 to 200 every single day, Monday through Friday, which saved him up to 1,000 extra calories on the Saturday when he knows he likes going out on the weekend, take his wife out for dinner, and he can still enjoy his favorite foods with his wife, right, while losing weight in a really fun, honestly effortless way as well. So this is why it works, especially for a career-driven man. So you're ready in structure, right? Monday through Friday, you're at work, you're already eating similar meals, you have the same schedule, right? It's Monday through Friday for most people should look pretty similar. That is the perfect time to control your calories and stay disciplined as well. And then when the weekend comes, you enjoy yourself without going off track. No restriction, no guilt, no starting every single Monday. So this is how you can actually make fat loss a lot more fun and also a lot more sustainable. So here's a quick little recap. You do not need to stop eating out. You just need a system. So like we discussed, don't be too fussed on your daily calorie goal, but more so about your weekly calorie goal, your weekly average. And if you want to use a strategy, you can bank your calories Monday through Friday. Make sure you stay nice and active. As always, prioritize protein and then you can still enjoy your foods guilt-free. That is how we help clients lose fat without feeling deprived or feeling like they're on an actual diet, quote unquote. So if you're tired of starting over every single Monday and you actually want a plan that lets you drop 30 to 50 pounds while still eating out at your favorite restaurants, you have two different options. Number one, you can message me on Instagram. My DMs are always open where you can ask me any specific questions regarding nutrition, diet, fat loss, anything like that. Or second option is you can actually schedule a free consultation call with me down below where we'll essentially do three things. Number one, we'll assess where you're currently at in terms of your body weight, all these things, your goals. Number two, we'll look at your current struggles. We'll see exactly what's kind of your bottleneck, what's holding you back. And then lastly, we'll create a game plan together to help you absolutely crush these goals in the next 6 to 12 months. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. If you guys do have any other questions for me, as always, just let me know, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.